Well, hi everyone. We're back with the story of the great banquet that Jesus told, one of the tales he told. And last time we were looking at how God's heart overflows to everyone who wants to come in to his kingdom. But how do they hear? I want to concentrate now a little bit on the servant, the slave of the owner. So when the master had been insulted by those who didn't want to come, he then says to his servant, go out quickly into the streets and bring in the poor, the crippled, the blind and the lame. And then the servant says, sir, what you ordered is done, but there's still room. And then the master says, go out to the country lanes. This servant is us. And God is commanding us to go out on his mission, the mission of God, to those round about. Now this sounds, and can be perhaps, really scary. Some people are naturals and they love doing it, and they can talk about God till the cows come home in a way that's attractive and interesting and doesn't put people off. These people are gifted evangelists. Others have a heart for this but aren't quite so bold, but they still talk. Others are really shy and retiring, but perhaps show their love in other ways, in service, in care. But every one of us at times has to speak. That speech should be in love, should be building bridges, should not be hitting people over the head with the gospel so that they're put off. The aim is not to tell the gospel story. The aim is to bring people to God through the gospel story. I've met some Christians who think, if I just tell them, then it's their responsibility. No, it's not true. We have to tell them in such a way that they can hear and can know what Jesus has done and how it's relevant for them. I've also met people who say, well, if I just go on about Jesus all the time, I will lose my friends. They'll be fed up with me. And that can be true. We need to have a word in season. We need to talk in a way that makes people interested. But that doesn't mean we don't talk. We don't just do actions. We need both actions and words. The servant goes out because he is commanded by the master. Go out and bring them in. Invite them in. Draw them in. Now there's another side to this. And that is, if I say to someone, would you like to come bird watching with me? And I know full well they don't like going to the countryside. Their eyesight's poor. They have no interest in birds whatsoever. And frankly, it's a really cold and wet day. The answer is going to be no. But we're not inviting some people to something they don't like or won't like. We're inviting them to a banquet. We need to present what Jesus has done for us in such a way that it is wonderful through our own experience, what we know of him. The great banquet means that we are telling people genuinely very, very good news. The very best news they can ever hear. And yet people get bored and think, we don't want to hear about that. So we've got to be clever in the way we talk. Not deceptive, we're not deceiving people, but saying, this is tremendous, this is wonderful. And if we don't have that story to tell, it's best to be quiet for a while and get to know God better. Because our story is one of Jesus who died for me, who loved me so much he would die for me, and then showed me my future by rising from the dead. And that future will not be boring, will not be stale or staid, but just think of the very best thing that you know and then multiply it beyond your imagination. And that is what the life to come will be. Or in Jesus' words, like a great banquet. And that is what we're inviting people to. So we're called to be that servant, to go out and invite people in to something wonderful.